Here's the aesthetic of Founders Day. A long string of booths planted down both sides of Season Way, piled with flowery lights, diverse wares, and colourful signage. If you could call it signage. Why can't it be called signage? Good. It's a lovely, peaceful scene indeed. Right. It's been a good while, has it not? Shame you can't see, like, the background of the route itself. Otherwise, this is a very confusing scenario where you probably don't actually remember the last time that you saved, so therefore you don't really remember the background because all you've got to get from are clues of the time itself that you saved. And that's not enough, I like something visual. But it doesn't matter. A seemingly endless line leading to the entrance of Season Tower, flanked by, I don't know how to pronounce that word, clumps of people in traditional livery, boasting masks representing the 12. Everywhere you looked, there was something delicious cooking, or something exciting taking place, or something beautiful being made. That was the joy of Founders Day.
Wowie!
Look at all of these masks. Ancient allegiance at its finest. It's probably not that deep. It is deep.
Yeah.
Right on that one. Look how many people are wearing dragon masks. Everyone just wants to look cool. Really? I don't think that's always the case. Back in college, my hall would go to the festivals with our Ilkoi masks. We were like a clan. We stuck together, had a secret handshake and everything. One horse wouldn't leave another horse behind.
Oh.
That's because you're a big nerd. But yeah, I do think that people find a special connection when they see others with the same mask. Yep. All dragons tend to be narcissistic. The ones who pick dragon masks are usually kids with delusions of grandeur.
Maybe.
That's fair, but it's still a trend. Alison, which Zodiac do you think has the best reputation?
Well,
The dogs, of course. They are known to be particularly loyal and civil.
Pip.
Sorry, Pip, but no one can beat the pig. Every pig I've run into has been such a sweetheart. I think it's because you need to be humble to wear a pig mask.
Oh, really?
You're both wrong. Snakes are the only people who come close to being tolerable. They actually think, which is more than what most people can say. But snakes are mean and steamy. Hey Twitch, back me up. I like dragon masks. Twitch has delusions of grandeur. Whoa. Any of you named Alison? Why are you answering for her? Alison, what do you think? I don't like to pick sides, you know. I think that all of the Zodiacs have their goods, you know? I'm not saying that they have bads, you know? They all have their goods. I don't pick sides. I don't pick sides, especially when I'm put on the spot. That's fair enough. What was the question for? Well, on the internet they say that a person's answer to that question decides how many people will end up dating. For example, someone who picks dog will be dedicated only to one person their entire life. But someone who picks pig is more likely to be a player because they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. It's a social question? I didn't know that you were into things like that.
Zax.
Zach quite enjoys popular culture, particularly that which is aimed at okay, fine. Personality quizzes, popularity polls, social questions, tabloids.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything wildly inaccurate. Whoa, guys, what a flattering picture you paint. I don't even really like tabloids. It's just necessary for us to be in the know. Like, for example, now that we know that Alison will have an identity crisis meltdown because she refuses to pick sides. Zach?
Huh?
Yes? This is like playing the course of your life after a clickbait article. Joke, I'm kidding. Wait, does that mean that I'm a player? This is grim news indeed. Twitch, we're off to cure my ills. Quick, everyone, into the Season Tower line. We need the Lunar Waltz. What does the Lunar Waltz have to do with being a player?
Well?
I'll only dance with one person, of course. Defiance of fate. I don't think you need to take it that seriously. It's just a social question. Pretty sure that she just wants to get in the line. Yeah, get in the line. The line to Season Tower is unique. Apparently, some people travel entire cantons just to wait in it for the authentic festival experience. I never understood it, but then again, I never thought that it was anything special. It's very, very long. Something that the British cannot cope with. The UK is terrible when it comes to waiting in lines. We're so impatient. And to be honest, patience is a very, very good thing to have. Especially when you're in countries like Japan. Because they love it when you're humble, respectful, patient. It's very, very long. It's flanked by both booths to keep the attentions and wallets of impatient citizens. Most adjacent strangers end up talking to each other because there's little else to do in a 3-hour wait. Usually the lines only forms on Founders Day, because Founders Day is the only time when the Lunar Waltz is held inside Season Tower. Later, a line would form from a very different reason. Not that it matters for now.
Hey.
This is definitely my favourite part of Founders Day. Waiting in line? Line shopping. We can look at all these cool booths, but everything's always crazy overpriced. Pip, you should get something for your office. I know how much you like ancient trinkets. Well, I'm not sure. Too pricey? Don't be stingy. Nah, get yourself something to decorate your office. Why not? Don't be stingy, Beckett. Founders Day only comes once a year. It's not so much their price as their inauthenticity, whatever you call it. Inauthenticity? I can't get my mouth around that word. Is he saying that all of the stuff in this office are bonafide ancient artifacts? That's impossible. Anything that survived from before the Zodiac War was claimed as government property and moved to museums. You can't just keep stuff like that in the back room of a diner, can you? Wait, what do you mean by inauthentic?
I thought...
They are mass-produced for public consumption. Consequently, there is neither story nor lineage to them. Right, so you're in possession of a legitimate historical antiques.
Isn't it normal?
Isn't it normal? It definitely isn't!
However...
But they're simply family heirlooms. Most of the swords aren't even sharp anymore. Well, why do you think? Most of it... Okay, time to switch perspectives. What if your office is burglarized? It's not exactly high security, not compared to a museum. That would be... So then that would be a very unfortunate day for a burglar. Is no one else concerned about this man? Holy creep! A mask stand! Carry on, dumplings. I have a mask to buy. You're buying a mask? She buys one a year. Every year?
Right.
Yep, for me, it's not just a costume piece. It sounds weird, but whenever I look at a mask for a certain year, I feel like it's absorbed all the memories from that year. It actually feels very special. This one's called 2006. This one's called 2007. I hated that year. This one's 2008. That was a good year. 2009. That's an okay year. I'll call it the alright mask for 2009. 2009. You're the alright mask. 2010. 2011. Yeah, that's all good. 2012. That's a great year. 2013. Worst year of my life. 2014. What the heck did went on in there? But still, pretty good. 2015, a wild ride, but still pretty good. 2016, meh. 2017, the internet has gone all sensitive, and well, this is this year, and the internet has gone even more sensitive. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Really?
Isn't it? I think more people should do it. Let's see, last time I got a whole mask, so maybe a half mask this year? What do you think I should get, Alison? Me? Isn't it your choice of, ancient allegiance?
No.
Oh, nah. I thought so many of it, it's more like art to me. Just pick the prettiest one or the one with most personality. Is it really okay for me to choose it? It sounds like a significant decision. I want you to. Call it an artist's intuition. But I have this weird feeling that you're going to become really important to all of us. I hope she never finds out I'm a journalist. She's too sweet to deserve this. I want this darling to pick something that suits her bubbly personality. Oh, the dragon can't be picked. I want you to have a rabbit because you're just such a rabbit. You're such a fluffy darling. How about the rabbit mask? It feels very eloquent and delicate.
Oh.
Why the rabbit? Is there something wrong with the rabbit?
Well.
I just, you know, there's 12 Zodiacs, so out of all of them, why the rabbit? Why not the rabbit? I know, right? It's just a mask after all. Silly me. Rabbit it is, dealing honey mugget, darling. Excuse me, madam. You've got a buyer. I wish I didn't have to snoop around with these people. They all seem so nice. Well, most of them. And even the prickly ones clearly care for their friends.
Little human.
Hello, little human. A few minutes of your time. Little human? That's unusual. Me?
Yes.
Yes, little human, you. You're the one on the front cover, aren't you, of this game? The unusual man was standing behind a lively booth. Well, sort of lively. It had bright colours and beautiful ribbons and everything expected from a lively booth. But there was one thing that made it unusual. It was completely empty. There was no merchandise, no signage, no price tags, not even a tip box. The counter was bare, and he was leaning idly against it, examining his fingernails like they were the most interesting anatomical feature in the world. Simply put, the booth shouldn't have been empty. It took time to nab one, and money, lots and lots of money. The line to Balloon and Wasp was known to be a highly contested business opportunity for vendors, so season-wide permits were only made available the day before Founders Day, and it was competitive. Aspiring business owners would camp on the steps of the Civil Centre and swarm in entrance of opening day. There were horror stories of extortion, bribery, even paying hitmen to lessen the competition. So who on earth would spend ridiculous resources to secure a booth only to do nothing with it? I'm not interested in buying anything. Sorry. Just as well, I'm not interested in selling anything. Then, no offense, but why are you talking to me? Well, it's not every day you meet an undercover journalist. You're a Pathfinder, aren't you? This is where I realised that something was terribly, horribly wrong. This was where I realised I might have just gotten in way over my head. A sum of little cues all jumbled together creates a very ominous picture. Little human, a muscular cat, an undercover journalist, and an empty booth. Should I have listened to my instincts of self-preservation, bolted away from that place, dropping the job and damning the consequences? Maybe things would have been very, very different. Or maybe they would have been the same. Who are you? How do we know each other? You may call me the cat, and we don't know each other.
Oh?
Oh, why? Are you surprised? You would be. My superpower is telepathy. Superpower? Telepathy? You don't believe me? Even after I showed you a first-hand display. It wasn't any kind of display. I wasn't thinking anything about being a journalist.
Oh, child.
Oh, child, you shouldn't be surprised. You'd be surprised that every humans think, but they don't think they think. That's a very convoluted sentence. Oh, good. I was worried that I was losing my touch. He keeps talking about humans. But maybe I shouldn't read too much into this. People always get weird around this time of year. How do you know who I am?
I wonder.
I know everything. No one knows everything. Not true, I do. If you really did, why are you opting a street booth? This humble little booth of mine? Why, that is for me to know, and for you to eternally wonder. What's the point of setting up a booth if you don't plan on using it? But I am using it, little human. Right, empty store, no wares, no decor. This guy is weird. Well, then what do you want? Or do you start talking with me just to make idle conversation?
Precisely.
Exactly that. I quite enjoy idle conversation.
Little human.
So, little human, what think you of weather? It's fine, I guess.
Really?
Is that so? How curious. It seems rather ominous to me. There's not a cloud in the sky. I can't imagine rain will be coming anytime soon. No, no, not rain. Fire. I wanted to laugh. I tried to do it. To open my mouth. Heave my... whatever that is. Shape the syllables that went something like ha ha ha. Nothing came out. The sound dried up in my throat illogically, like my subconscious knew something that my mind refused to accept. All of my inborn alarm bells were churning for escape. Run, run, run from this creep, this psycho, this oddball who went through all the trouble of buying a booth spot on the most crowded holiday of the year, and all for what? To get to me, of course. Or maybe I should instead say, to get through me. I pressed myself further into the line, pushing distance between me and the terrifying stranger. With through the commotion and festivals for celebration in the air, I felt the final tendrils of his voice. Oh, little human, don't run. I might have to chase you. Things have gone very dark very quickly. A human is full of secrets. A cat finds them all. Do you think the cat was the start to the Zodiac War? Alison? I came to my senses in the middle of the street. The crowd was bustling round me, a sluggish river full of muffled noise and blurry light. Then I realized that Leaf was holding my wrist with a loose grip, peering at my face. I instinctively jerked away.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, did I scare you? Oh, no, it's fine. I'm fine. You don't look fine. You were crouching at the side of the road, like you were about to throw up. I was? Yes. That doesn't make sense. It was just a weird encounter. There's no reason for me to feel sick. You felt sick after meeting someone? Yeah, I guess. A stranger. Who? Some random booth attendant, I think.
Hey.
It takes just 1/10 of a second to make a first impression. Posture, style, speech, expression, everything is a cue. Maybe this particular person raised a lot of dangerous signs. Maybe. He was definitely creepy. But first impressions are usually wrong. Because of the fundamental attribution error. The what? It's a cognitive bias.
Here's the thing.
Let's say that I fainted right here, right now, and let's say that you had to drive me to the hospital or I'd die. Because the situation was urgent, you'd speed down every road and you'd even run red lights. Now you might think I'm not normally a reckless driver, I'm just trying to save a life. You know your circumstances, so don't judge yourself. But if you see someone speeding and running reds, you'll judge their character, not their circumstances. You think that they were reckless or angry or just moronic. Why? Because you don't know their internal circumstances. You only know yours. That's a fundamental attribution error, and it's why a lot of first impressions are incorrect. We have incomplete knowledge of other situations, so we jump to conclusions. So you're saying that my first impression of him was definitely wrong? No. Not necessarily. Your first impression is incomplete. All first impressions are, but it could go either way. Maybe the stranger is fine, or maybe he's 10 times as psychotic as you think he is. Right. Wait, I didn't say anything about him being psychotic.
Well,
it was a guess. People who are sick when they're in immediate danger. That tends to be limited to perverts and psychos, and perverts have better place to be on found-up days than operating a line booth. Let's do the nicer approach, because he's trying to be caring for us for one time. Thank you for your concern. Concern? I guess it is. Come on, we're in the next group of a dance. Nah. I managed to push off the encounter as nothing but an abnormality of Founders Day. People got drunk, high, made impulsive decisions, wore masks, acted like completely different people, all for fun. The cat had to be one such person. Had to be. Season Tower was considered in a way to be the birthplace of Lunar City. It was a monument created in honor of the 12 Zodiacs. Of course, it couldn't actually be true, because practically everything before the Zodiac War has been destroyed. In actuality, Season Tower was created during the rebuilding after the war. It was meant to be a reminder and a warning for future generations not to be foolish and divisive. But over time, it had turned into something more like a tourist attraction. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lunar Waltz. When the music has concluded, please exit through the doors on your right.
Oh.
They have this down like a well-oiled machine. Clockwork. If Mars were here, she'd approve of how smoothly everything is run.
Well.
If Mars were here, I think she'd just be scolding us for wasting our time in frivolous pursuits like dancing.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Dances and other highbrow social events are important for business networking.
Yes.
Marlin may consider it rather lucrative, in fact. Marlin Teller for one absentee? Ladies and gentlemen, the Lunar Waltz shall now commence. Twitchy, that's our cue. Let's go. Jules, wait. Face of us. Oh, I see a cousin of mine. If you don't mind, I'll be off.
Yep.
And I'm going to take a look at the exhibits. I suppose I can't possibly get you to dance. Nope. And I suppose that your agenda encompasses sulking in the corner for the whole time. Dancing wouldn't make it any better. He should make this experience a memorable one. You waited in line for such a long time. Don't you think that you might as well make something out of this? No. These aren't my type of dancers. You have a type.
Maybe.
Martial arts fusion isn't bad. You've done martial art fusions before?
Had a job once.
Had a job once, you don't... How many jobs have you had? That wasn't on a file, as usual.
Hey.
Hey, kid. Yes?
Look.
Been wondering. How did you meet all of us within a week of each other? And none of them were casual encounters. You quickly became pretty memorable. Creeper figured that someone would notice at some point, but even so, never could do at this point but feign ignorance. All of who? Never mind. You don't seem like a bad kid. And half of it was probably our fault anyway. It feels like he's talking to himself more than me. Holt?
Kid.
You should go dance, kid. Make tonight a night to remember. Drink or do whatever kids do these days. How encouraging. I guess I'll just take his advice. Founders Day is the best holiday of the year. You'd be ashamed to just ignore it.
Oh.
Oh, not the cat again. What a pleasant surprise.
I wonder.
What do they say in times like this? Long time no see? How did you get inside? The doors are... They are... Only our fault... Little human. I assure you, I'm a perfectly law-abiding citizen. I was right behind you, didn't you notice? Well, perhaps there was more like 10 persons behind you, but nonetheless. But you're both... Oh, well, I have better avenues to sell merchandise anyways. Would you care for a dance? I'd care very much not to have one. Just as well, I hate dancing, in the literal sense, of course. What's that supposed to mean?
Naturally.
An intellectual dance would be delightful, little human. You may not know the steps, but oh, are you a natural? Can you just leave me alone? If you keep this up, I may have to call for a restraining order. Bravo, your first step. Now it is my turn. Look forward to my move, little human. It won't be long. Wait, or actually, it's good if he leaves, isn't it? Alison. Hello. Oh, it's just you. Sorry, I'm a little on edge.
You okay?
What happened? I think I might have a stalker. Yes, it's no such thing as being too careful when a potential stalker is about. I think I might have a stalker. Stalker? I know that this time of year is always strange, but this guy who I've never met before is following me around. Maybe you found yourself an admirer. If only. I think he made a threat. He mentioned that fire was in the weather forecast. Who'd do that unless it was a threat?
Well,
A literature major. The fire forecast could be a metaphor for his burning passion for you. I'm pretty sure that it has nothing to do with metaphors and that he's not a literature major. But it'll be fine. I probably won't see him again after tonight. Why aren't you dancing? Don't enjoy it?
nah.
No, strangers. Or is this your way of offering?
Hey.
Oh, you finally smiled. I'm glad. You've been looking stressed all night. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless that's your resting face. I don't even know how to answer that question. An insult if it's your resting face, and a compliment if it's not. Zach. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Lunar Waltz. Please exit to the doors on your right. I guess that means we should go. Quite. I left the party having talked with 3 people. 1. Someone who was most certainly not an admirer. Number 2. Someone who had an old soul. Number 3. A psycho. Who was who and which was which? Well, that's the part in question. That was so refreshing. Nothing like a little exercise to get the creative juices flowing. Oh, come to think of it, you and Neve go hiking, right? Does it help you write songs? Being out in nature always does help, but hiking also serves another purpose. It's important to keep healthy, pumpkin. Healthy and strong. For what? Not spending the rest of your life in a hospital. Helping people. You never know when others might need the gift you were born with. That's why I like hiking and running. But not push-ups. I'll do them. But I don't know why anyone would like push-ups.
I don't know.
Pretty sure that most people don't. You definitely do not. I wonder whose fault that is. It was a bet, cousin. One fair and square. I still maintain that you and B totally conned me. Cousin? Is that literal? Figurative? This way, I'm gonna need to draw a relationship chart. You and Beckett are related?
Right.
Might as well, to be honest.
You see,
There is no blood relation, but we are family. How did it end up happening?
that's a bit,
It's a bit of a long tale.
You know.
Basically, we were in the same college frat. I was a big history nerd, and since this guy was walking around with a legitimate sword... Ow.
cousin.
Don't tell the poor woman blunt lies, cousin. It becomes a habit and is not easy to cure. Oh, come on. The idea of you being in a college frat is hilarious.
Even so.
And what else? Not true. Oh, come on. Why are you the only one who gets to tease people?
Naturally.
I'm older. You're not that much older. I'm still older. This guy. Okay. Truth is, Alice and our families knew each other. Since before we were born. Beckett never was in a college frat, or went to college at all. Their families know each other? So Beckett and Zach were childhood friends, and Beckett and Leaf were also apparently childhood friends, I think. Then does that make Leaf and Zach childhood friends by association? They don't seem that close. I don't understand these dynamics. Hey, you don't need to look that surprised that he's a degreeless commoner. He was homeschooled, so it's not like he is uneducated. Though sometimes I do wonder. Ow. Joke, cause it's a joke. Pardon, my hand slipped. Sure. Seems lively over here. Just a bit of chatting, Uncle. Where's July and Neve? July ran off. Said something like, okay, bye-bye, dear cherry blossoms, my muse calls for me. Liv didn't want her walking all night by herself, so he went with her.
Oh.
Good man. Think of how much trouble Judy's would get into if she did all her shenanigans alone. It's a good thing she has us for cover for her.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. But she is also the strongest of spirit, and she strengthens ours. It's getting late. I should return to my family's gathering.
Oh.
That's a bit of a drive.
Yes.
Yes, but it wouldn't do for me to miss the celebration entirely. Thank you for a pleasant evening, Miss Alison. It was lovely to see everyone again. But I thought we were all close friends.
Well.
Farewell. Happy Founders Day. Drive safe, cuz. Don't get a ticket. I saw that, loser. You guys seem to get along.
Yep.
Yeah, well, living in the same house for 6 years will do that to you. Either you get along or you get evicted, you know. Same house. Ah, yeah. I went to live with his family for a while. 6 years? For what, I wonder? Studying for a degree?
Hey.
I should probably pop out too. But thanks, Anderson. I had a great time. We should hang out again. Favour or no favour. Sure thing. So, what about you? I assume that you're also heading out. Maybe, but it's dangerous for a kid to walk around alone. She could set something on fire. You have a very prickly way of offering your company, do you know that?
Well,
Because I am not offering my company. I'm performing a civic duty by keeping children from accidental terrorism. Okay, now you're just being difficult. My apartment's on the bus route. I'm pretty sure that I won't set anything on fire on the way. Take care of yourself, kid. The only thing more dangerous than looking for trouble is not recognizing it when it comes. Are you saying that I'm in danger?
get used to it.
I'm saying that you should be careful. In this world, you're the only person who can look out for yourself. This guy's just a fountain of old man quotes, isn't he? But at least he does seem genuinely concerned. Goodbye, kid. Keep your eyes open. And that was the conclusion to the eventful Founders Day. Is what I'd like to say, but it's also false. In a way, I wish I could just ignore what happened afterward. I wish I had gone to bed without writing a single word. But as the saying goes, if wishes were fishes, we'd all swim in witches. But really, wouldn't we just be swimming with the fishes? Wow, so peaceful and quiet compared to Season Way. Hang on. What's that smell? Is that smoke? It was indeed smoke. Lots of smoke. A neighbouring apartment complex just down the block, well, a sizable chunk of it, at least, was ablaze. The place was hedged by fire engines and a cacophony of wailing sirens. I could make out a swarm of figures, firemen and policemen, EMTs and lawyers and insurance representatives and...
Wait!
Please, my daughter's still inside. Someone save her. Sir, please remain here. We'll cover her as quickly as possible. Will someone stop the sirens? Sane folk are trying to get some sleep. Out, madam. Okay. Struck in a trance, I could only do what my instincts offered. I extracted my camera from its bag, and that was when I caught a glimpse of a figure who bounded out of the window, weightless. He flew like a crane, clothes rippling around his lanky figure. Slung over his shoulder was a person with flecks of ash and soot embedded in their hair, clothes, skin. Despite the heavy burden, he landed effortlessly. He uncinematically dumped the body of the turf, pressing the tips of his finger lightly to the civilian's neck. After a moment, he nodded satisfied and stood. A bustling officer stood next to him, hands clamped on a walkie-talkie. Is that a citizen you're carrying, sir? There are 3 more within who require aid. Who are you? Are you authorized to do this? Ah, humans, so concerned with trivialities. Very well, if you shall not endeavour to save him, then I will. Stop! Civilians, stop! Just let him do that. And back in he went. I'll never forget how I felt in that moment, watching a man who I'd only regarded as a creep and a psycho disappear into the jaws of fire. The image of a single silhouette became consumed by a crashing wave of red. It was powerful enough to stay with me for weeks. In that brief moment, a male factor became a martyr. Even from my safe distance, I felt the pressure of the furious heat against my skin. It didn't stop me from checking the scuttle frantically, capturing every frame I possibly could. The cat, driving through the open air with all the grace of a swan. The line of fire engines blocking the side of the street. The mob of people, some crying, some silent, most staring wide-eyed at their crumbling home. Some journalists might have been thrilled. Given their contagious nature, fires could make headlines, especially if the casualty count were high. But the stench of smoke was thick in the air, an iron wall, coating the back of my throat and making my lungs feel scratchy. The wail of silence was oppressive, corkscrewing sharply into the centre of my skull. I thought of the victims scattered down the sidewalk, watching their possessions and livelihoods burn to dust, praying desperately for the safety of their loved ones, experiencing tragedy of what should have been the happiest day of the year. Abashed, I lowered my camera, inching around the complex to the backside. Here, it was quieter. No, none of those. Okay, the figure of the cat flickered occasionally in the windows, a brief form that would sometimes disperse the smoke. My angle was hardly ideal, blocked by debris, furniture and pillars, but there seemed to be light coming from the building. I cautiously inched closer, raising my camera to peer through the zoom lens. Pinpricks of coloured beams which resembled LED lights shot faintly through the smoke. They moved with the cat's limbs as if affixed to the equipment on his arms and legs. I was broken out of my trance by a terrifying, convulsing groan above me. I stumbled back, looking frantically for the source. The upper floor was gripped by an explosion. Debris rocketed out of the window, pinwheeling right towards my skull. But something abruptly pulled me out of the way. Huh? No, not something. Someone. Beckett? Framed by ashes and hollowed by dying specks of fire, a man smoked lightly as me from beneath a tidy fedora. His shoulders were rolled back, relaxed, almost as if he was taking a leisurely stroll, not standing next to a residential catastrophe. I was frozen in place, the gears in my head had completely stopped, confronted with the sudden possibility of death. Has anyone ever told you not to play with fire? That looks better. I'll take that as a no. I almost died. You tried your damnedest, but you didn't. Because you saved me? Why? Do you have such a low opinion of the common man? Sorry to disappoint, but I'm not in the habit of letting innocent little girls getting burned alive or squished by metal pipes. Is it have yours to be so unaware of your surroundings? His smooth jab recovered some of my senses. Attacks on human pride often do. Is it a habit of yours to carry a lighter with sooty fingers? Oh, I see. You suspect that I'm the person who started this fire? Am I wrong? Would I tell you if you weren't? You were at the season theatre. I saw you. You looking in my direction.
Maybe.
The broad general direction where 100 people were standing, yes. So you remembered me. Cute girl staring at me, not easy to forget. Can't fault me for that one, can you? You know what? We should probably exit the premises. There's a better place to engage in pleasantries than a burning building. Quite. So he led me away from the chaos and back onto the quiet residential streets.
Well?
Well, you're already looking better. How did it feel to have a foot through death's door? That's jarring, huh? I'm trying to figure out whether you're trustworthy or not. You saved my life, I'm thankful for that, but I also saw you in season theatre, and you're carrying a lighter right next to an apartment that's on fire. This lighter? You know I'm just a little disappointed. I thought you'd be more of the clever sort. What?
Really?
If I really did commit this arson, as you so delicately implied, Why would I carry the lighter in plain sight? Or why would I have saved you? Lapse of judgment? Then why would I allow you to remain alive after uncovering my true identity? Continued lapse of judgment? You're an interesting woman, milady. Well, I admit that it is unlikely, but then, why are you carrying the lighter in the first place? Ah, right. Well, perhaps I wanted to smoke. I don't think I could buy that.
Exactly.
Then don't. You should be relaxing, milady. What you need right now isn't witty repartee. You need a shock blanket and a mug of coca. What do you mean by a shock blanket? What a patronizing tone. I don't live in that apartment, if that's what you mean. You nearly died. That's enough to rattle anybody. Is he showing concern? I can't really tell past all of these mind games. If you're carrying the lighter, you know something about fire, don't you? I fail to see how that relates to the topic at hand. Besides, I'm technically not carrying it. I just happen to be carrying a plastic bag with a lighter in it. But it sounds like you know something. Shouldn't you talk to the police? If you provide a witness testimony, you'll be hampering a lot of people.
Aw.
Poorly disguised request, milady. I know that you still think I'm responsible. Well, if you're innocent, then there shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't there? Sadly, life isn't so cut and dried. Talking to the police might be a little complicated. Right, and how am I supposed to take that?
Hey.
Go ahead. Huh?
Look.
You want to report me, don't you? Might as well do it now. If you call too late, they might lose me. I can't read him, not one bit. Why are you making fun of me?
Milady?
I'm being rudely sincere, milady. I don't believe that. What a coincidence, neither do I. Okay, let's think about it this way. There are victims of that fire. Even if they're physically untouched, precious memories and possessions have been burnt away. You really seem to know something. Can't you help them out by just giving your testimony? You're quite a moving person when you try, aren't you, milady? Not moving enough if it doesn't make you say yes.
Look.
Unfortunately, I don't know a thing about the fire. How would one want to progress down this path? Yeah, right, I call ball. Then why didn't you say so in the first place?
Huh.
Interesting. What is? You actually expect me to answer you? Pardon me, milady, but what do I owe you? Nothing. Well, to be fair, it doesn't really matter either way. I don't know anything about a fire aside from the fact that it exists. That's not what I was here for. Then, what were you here for? Would you believe me if I said afternoon tea? Since it's not afternoon, no. Then I suppose you have to remain unsatisfied. My apologies. For a moment we fell silent. Our non-stop give and take back and forth respite. He gently sifted into something a little darker, a little deeper, a little more human. Doubt. Suspicion is one thing, because, well, when you're suspicious of something, you don't always have a connection to it. But doubt. You can only doubt something that you want to trust. You can only doubt something in which you hope for the best.
Milady?
Well, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Evening, milady. Wait. Thank you for saving my life. You're welcome. That's it? That felt normal? Gentle. What should I call you? You can call me Dexter, milady. Is that your real name? Now, why would I give my real name to a stranger? Especially a stranger who's a journalist. What? That's the second time today that a stranger mysteriously knew about me. It couldn't be that he just guessed, could it? Do we know each other? No, we don't. Then how... Wait, asking if we know each other implies our connection is a two-way street. In other words, not only does he have to know me, but I have to know him. Maybe I need to change my question. Then do you know me? If you can call it that.
Milady?
Stay safe around here, milady. You're trying to avoid it now. That was the first time I met Dexter, or so I thought. Meeting strangers is always such an interesting thing. If you think about it, you could be running into the same people your entire life and you wouldn't even realise it. The grocer checking out your items could have once bought the same train as you. The camper on the other side of the mountain could have once fulfilled your prescription. a substitute cheater, a janitor, a gardener, a real estate agent. Sometimes you meet once in a lifetime, sometimes twice, sometimes many times. Coincidence, I think not. So much happened today. My mind is a blur. I have so many questions on the Zodiacs, on the cat, on Dexter. But I doubt that these questions will have any answers. Well, first things first, I have a job, and that job demands articles to be written. Considering that a cat was at a huge fire, maybe I should write something centered around him. He ran into that building like it was nothing. He ignored smoke inhalation, heat exhaustion. Even the structural dangers of a burning building, it's weird to admit, but it definitely didn't seem human. Well, even if it's explainable, I'm sure that Pathfinder will be happy if I frame it in the context of something supernatural. Maybe I could claim that the cat is a Zodiac in disguise. Time for a lot of late night calls. Oh dear. August the 29th, Canto Silo. In response to a sudden fire that consumed Cedar Villa apartment homes on Marina Avenue, an identified figure rescued 3 individuals before first responders set foot on the scene. He proceeded to rescue 3 more despite the building's evident structural compromise. Nice sentencing there. If I can... Oh, my mouse was not on the selected area. Okay. The fire, which reportedly began at about 9:20 PM, was successfully battled within 4 hours. Investigators are currently determining its cause. It's Founders Day, said County Fire Chief Marco Scott. It could be alcohol, candles, sparklers. Since there's no evidence of gas poisons or arson, we're expecting an accident caused by too much drinking and not enough common sense. Okay. The unidentified rescuer vacated the scene as soon as all the residents of the apartment were cleared. His identity is unsolvable due to his supernatural roots. Yeah, unsolvable due to his obviously supernatural roots. Keith Mintz, as a resident of Cedar Villa and victim of a fire, personally witnessed the extent of the rescuer's abilities. He, totally ignored the fire. It was crazy hot in there, and the smoke, saints, it was possible to breathe. I have no clue how he did it, but hey, he saved people, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Am I right? Wallace Cans, another resident, captured several seconds of the rescuer through an open window. In the video, the rescuer catches a falling beam with gloved hands and hoists it back up. The video is... hard proof of his Zodiac identity. Clearly, the 12 have returned. The rescuer is stated to have wearing a cat mask and a dark blue, however you want to call that. So the left option is more realistic and the right option is more favoured of the Supernature cause, but we don't want to make it too supernatural, otherwise it would just be stupid. Now for the title. Masked superhero Quince's raging. Okay. Unidentified rescuer saves lives at apartment fire. The second sighting could this be a Zodiac? What do you mean by the second sighting? What are you trying to get on about there, buddy? People would probably go mad at the last one, so let's try and just keep it a bit of a lower tone. Unidentified rescuer saves lives at apartment fire. Or the second sighting, could this be a Zodiac? Or the stupid one here, masked superhero quenches raging arson. Or then again, arsenal can go in an arson. Okay, the second sighting, could this be a Zodiac? Now go for the most obvious one. Unidentified rescuer saves lives at apartment fire. Yes. Feels a little bland for Pathfinder, but oh well. It really doesn't matter. Time to get some sleep. I just want to check something first. Stat menu. So this is who we look like in the middle there. Middle. So we can only have affection towards the male characters. We don't have affection towards female characters, because that would make sense, actually. So this is outlined, but a priority target would be Beckett because he's got 1.5 hearts fulfilled. Leaf has 3/4 of his heart, and the uncle only has like a fraction of his heart, along with a teacher as well. So the decisions that you make in a game obviously determine how much of a heart is filled or not filled at all. I would imagine that it defills though. Not like in the letter actually, where some decisions you gain affection towards one character and not, well, decrease affection towards another. No, I don't want. Sheesh. Return to me. No, I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay, return. Excellent. Time to get some sleep. And how is this going to look? August the 30th. Indeed. I've had to record this demo in like 3 different sections because this is such a long time. Hello? Nah. Hello? Tobo's Haze. Oh, sorry? So tired. What time is it? Go post haste, I said. Are you not listening, Miss Hart? Sorry, what are you talking about? Your article, Miss Hart. It is fit to burst. My article? Yes, your article. We must answer for readers at once. Head to Medina, Miss Hart. Hang on, my article? I have to check this. Supernature on top of her game. They got the news on the fire out faster than the Celesti Broadcasting Company props. This is for real. There's no cat in the Zodiac, is there? 12. It's another vagrant, just like a sighting. Guys, what if it's real? What if the 12 are back? Did anyone catch the video? It looks like his arms were glowing. What? He really did blow up. How? Go to the diner this very instant. I require answers. Now it's 5 in the morning. I've only slept for 2 hours. Yes, now, if it's such an issue, I am certain that overtime pay will suffice. Now go. Yes, I will take the overnight pay. Thank you very much. Ugh, I can barely see the street. Where's the door? Oh, here. Ah, I didn't know this diner was still open. Or is it that it opens early? Well, boss says go, so in I go. Why, in the diners where Beckett is. Mine was not the reason why. Mine was but to do and what? See, no one's at the diner. Table for one plate. This is what you call the sightings of these Zodiacs. I have no idea what's going on actually. This was the part where I rubbed my eyes. And rubbed it again. Weapons that look like they're forged of light and smoke and uncovered from storybooks. I didn't know what to do.
You fool!
Saints alive, Harbinfest. Did you not lock the door? I was a bit occupied at the moment, if you remember, with, you know, bringing the news in the first place.
Now.
There's no time to argue. That was when Beckett's eyes fixed on mine, deep and piercing, paralyzing every bone in my body. That was when I realized I had made a terrible, terrible mistake. Like lightning. No, like the northern sea, ancient and sorrowful and frigid to the touch. He flew across the floor, snapping his empty hand forward. Before I could blink, a shining mist crackled around his hand and wrapped up his arm and solidified into a blade at rest against my throat. Cold. That's all my mind registered. The sword was deathly cold, to the point where I was convinced the weapon was made of ice. What? Apologies, Miss Alison. I hate to draw my blade against an unarmed woman, but I'm afraid we can't let you leave. This is... This is madness. Absolute madness. Glowing eyes, weapons forged from light, an indescribable aura of power crackling in the air. Why, it was all the makings of a legend. This was a terrible mistake. Demo end. Whoa. created by Luna Chiley. Oh, that was such a wonderful game too, despite only being a demo. I would like to give thanks to my Lord and Saviour, without whom this project would not have been possible. Credit sequence icons purchased from the Noun project. Editor, I'm not sure how to pronounce the names. I do apologise if any of you are watching. Programmer, special thanks to Yun Ho Hwan for programming the pre-alpha demo. Executive producer Jennifer Ward. For Dwayne, may you always get the good endings. Will be artist, stained glass, character, no, CGS. I keep forgetting what that is. I've forgotten what the acronym is. It's very obvious, I know. Guest composers, featured in demo. These are the musics. Executive backer. Quality assurance, I believe. I'm not quite too sure. Voice and cast consultant, voice engineer, game engine, REMP, sound effects purchased from Envato Market. Used with open font language fonts. I'm not sure how to pronounce those. Rubik's, one of them definitely. And these are the different voice actors or actresses. So we got Jonathan David Block for Beckett. Michael Potok for... I've forgotten his name now. I do apologise. The uncle, we'll just call him back. Brendan James Winkler for Leaf. John Weasley Go for Zax. Michael Kovalch, however you want to pronounce it. I do apologise for this enigmatic individual. Jill Harris for July. Kathleen Blah for Marlin. And Griffin for the cat. I didn't get to see the first or the last character on the right. So there could be other avenues in this demo that you could proceed through. Just because of the sheer amount of choices in this game, and it is brilliant. It's not just an artistically pleasing game, it's also a very in-deep story game as well, which is what I love. There's not enough visual novels out there where the developers actually put time in to construct a story which works, which is deep, which is effective. And even though it's just a demo, it is a bloody good demo. In fact, I highly recommend everyone who's watching this video right now to check out this game for yourself and see what you can get, because as it's only a demo, I'm not going to go through all of the options right now. Backups, backers. So kickstarted. Yep. God, look at all these. Look at all these. I hope one day to get into some sort of credits within the game. I don't know. Thanks for playing. Get updates, discuss the game, and support us at Studio Theophilus.com. And that's it for my Let's Play for the moment, folks. This is part 3, I would believe. If you want me to check out the other character avenues, please put a comment down in the below the description, in the comment sections below. But I'm pretty sure that most of the other decisions that are made in the game, the avenue of the story would go differently, because there were 2 characters within those credits which you have not discovered on the route that I selected, or just what I chose at the time. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much to the team for making Zodiac Axis. Thank you so much to everyone who backed up the game. Thank you so much to everyone who was part of the production of the game. Thank you so much to those who voice acted for the game. Brilliant. And thank you so much to all of those who are watching this video right now. And take care of yourselves.